Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 98 of The Anatomy of Knitting. My name is Erin, and I will be your host. Today is October 20th, 2016, and I'm coming to you from my little house here in Cork, Ireland. I'm an American expat living here, and I'm excited to record this episode for you. It's been a little bit of a long time. While I was making my tea prior to sitting down and recording, I was just curious of when the last time I recorded was. So I pulled my phone out and I looked up the YouTube channel and have discovered that it's been 4 months since I podcasted, which was not what I was planning, but it's what happened. A lot of things have changed. My hair color has changed again. I've been having a hard time finding somebody to maintain that oil slick hair. So I'm still on the search. So let's see. In this episode, I'll talk about kind of what's been going on. I'll talk about what's been on the needles, and I think that's about it. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. I got my co-host over here, Lola, who's taking a snooze. So let's get started. So 4 months. So let's see. I think in that amount of time, the boys have started everyday school, as I call it. Ireland, when children turn 3, Ireland offers free preschool education for 3 hours a day, every day, Monday through Friday. And so we have signed the boys up for that. We've also started them. They used to go just 1 day a week. They were there all day Thursday, but since they've started preschool, the ECCE, which is, I think, Early Child Care Education or something like that, they now go to the preschool 2 whole days a week, and the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're just there for the 3 hours a day. So it's been a bit of a change. I have had kind of a taking back of my personal time, which has been nice, especially since I've had a fair amount of things that I've had to get done since school has started. So that's a fun, exciting thing. We also took a trip, a family vacation. We was it late September? No, it was early September. We all got on a plane and flew to Barcelona, Spain, and then boarded the Disney Magic and took, as Nathaniel likes to call it, a Mickey Mouse cruise ship. We took a Disney cruise around the Mediterranean. We had stops in Naples, Italy, Rome, Italy, Livorno, Italy, which is Livorno, I believe, is for Pisa and Florence. So we went into Pisa. Let's see, and then we were supposed to go into Villefranche, but ended up having rough seas, so we couldn't do that. So instead we went to Marseille the next day. My husband, on that last shore excursion, he was supposed to go rent a car at Villefranche, and he wanted to, I guess, drive in the Alps. So he was particularly disappointed about that. But I ended up giving him some time away in Marseille. And every time I say Marseille, I think Marcel the Shell, which is one of those silly YouTube videos. Let's see. The boys did amazing on the ship. They loved cruising on the ship. They didn't do so hot in during the shore excursions. We went to Pompeii when we went into Naples, and then we did a full day in Rome, and then a half day in Pisa. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know why, whenever I podcast, I always yawn. Anyway, Pisa was hot, and they did okay for a couple of hours, but then towards the end of that half day, they were like done. And I was practically done because it was warm, and there's not particularly a lot of shade in Pompeii because there's not really any trees. So, but it was fantastic. I had taken a trip into Italy by myself prior to meeting my husband. So I think it had been maybe about 8 to 10 years since I'd last been there. So it was nice to go back to Pompeii. I think Pompeii is such a fascinating place. I'm not sure I'd recommend going in the summer because it's very hot, and again, there's very little shade. But it should be definitely on everybody's bucket list to go see. It's just an interesting site. Then in Rome, we had a whole day there, and the boys, like, just from the beginning were like, I don't want to be here, I want to be on the Mickey Mouse cruise ship. And so that was a bit of a tough day, and we really didn't get to see much of anything. It was called Highlights of Rome, so they dropped us off and gave us time to explore around the Colosseum, and then near the Trevi Fountain, and then what was the last one? There was one last. Yes. Can't remember what the last place was. But basically, the boys were just like, they didn't want anything to do with Rome, and so we ended up finding places to sit down and having cool things to drink and to eat. So the boys had some gelato and nice cold water, and so Rome was kind of a bust. So I think I definitely recommend waiting until kids are just a little bit older to do something like that. But Pisa was fun because it was about a half-hour drive to where we needed to go. Once we were there, we then got on this little like train. This it's not a train. It's a car that has train cars attached to it. And then they drove us into Pisa, and we saw the Leaning Tower. And again, there's not really many trees or much shade, but thankfully there were a fair amount of buildings that we could sit in the shade of. And the boys seemed to enjoy that. And then we got back on the little train and drove back to the cruise ship. Ooh, excuse me. I'd recommend going on a Disney cruise if you all ever have the opportunity. The service is impeccable, and the experience is it's a great experience if you're into that kind of Disney thing. The boys got to meet characters, and we had a VIP character breakfast one day, and when we went to Disneyland Paris last year, and I had booked a character meal, the boys just went completely, they were terrified. But thankfully, I was smarter this time and had prepared them, and my husband and I had prepared them, so we'd shown them the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse so they could meet several of the characters, and so that was fun and exciting. I'll probably include a fair amount of pictures at the end of this to show our trip. We've already got a deposit down for another Disney cruise, so we don't know when it's going to happen, but it has to happen at some point in the next 2 years. We're talking about, so we're planning on moving back to the States next summer, in early summer, and then once we do that, we're talking about, well, maybe we'll do, there's a repositioning cruise for the, I want to say it's the Wonder, but I'm not 100% sure, because the Wonder tends to cruise around Alaska, and then it repositions to do like Mexico, I think. So the plan is that we'll do the repositioning cruise from Vancouver, BC, down to San Diego, and I think it's just a 4-day cruise. And then after that, we'll somehow get up to Los Angeles, because I think San Diego is a little bit south, I think, when I mapped it out. Because I was curious how long it would take to drive from San Diego to LA, and I want to say it was, oh goodness, I don't even remember. I want to say it was 3 hours, but I'm not, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, and then spend a few days in Disneyland. The boys are still really into the cars, and so I want to take them to that Cars Land that's in Disneyland, California, so we'll see what happens. That's hopefully in the cards at some point after we move. Let's see. Yeah, so the boys have started school. I'm sort of in the thick of being the president of the Irish Patchwork Society group that I'm a part of. That's going fairly well, I think. I have entered a quilt. Let me see if I can find. My iPad will be a little bit bigger to show you a picture. I submitted a quilt. There's a knitting and stitching show this weekend that I'm going to be going to. So I'll be leaving for that tomorrow. And earlier in the summer, so the IPS hosts a gallery at the Knitting and Stitching Show, and one of the, I guess this year they've changed it where they're doing a modern gallery, they're doing a traditional gallery, they're doing a branch gallery, and they're doing a bag gallery, I think. So the person, I guess once they made that decision, the person that that was hosting the modern gallery emailed me and said, "Hey, I know you do modern stuff. I'd really like to feature your work. Why don't you send me some quilts that you think might be appropriate?" And so I sent her an email with a bunch of quilts, and so I said, these are the ones I have in progress. Let me know which ones you think you would like. And so she said, I'd shown her my aviatrix medallion, which I believe I showed you all not too long ago. And I said, the top's done, but it's not quilted, bound or anything. So do you think you'd like that? And so she decided that that's what she wanted to feature in the gallery. So it's a giant, I think that's a queen size bed. So that fits pretty well on a queen-size bed. You can't really see the quilting here, but I did like a feather meander. You can see the texture definitely on the photograph. So I'm going to go visit my quilt this weekend. I think I also do a little bit of sewing. I also featured some work in the national the Irish Patchwork Society exhibition. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't have a good picture of the finished quilt here, but this is what I did to enter. The theme was evolution, and I wanted to create something to celebrate the passage of gay marriage, both not only in the U.S., but it also happened here in Ireland last year. So that's what I did. I'll do a little bit of sewing. I've been participating in a round robin bee. There's a few things that I have made for that. So I did the outside border for this. Actually, all these photographs, the outside border will probably be done by me. So there's that one. This one's been my favorite so far. I did that teal star border. And another sewing thing that I did. Let's see if I can find. Let's go to. Nope, it doesn't look like this. There's the cruise ship. As part of Disney Cruises, they do a pirate night. I think on all, if not that, then most of the cruises. And so I decided back before we went to the States that I would sew us some pirate costumes to be so we could be pirates on the ship. And here, can't really see it very well here. There we go. So I made us all. I can't really see it super well. So I made a dress, an overskirt, and a pirate coat and a corset for myself, and then for the boys and Daddy, they all have coats, pants, and white shirts. And it's a green, yeah, you can't really see it. It's a green velvet. Is the coat, their coats. So that was fun to do. Although now they seem to start to have opinions about what they want to wear for Halloween. There's a dress-up day for school coming up, and so we've got several options that they could do. They've got scary skeleton PJs that they could wear. They've got pumpkin shirts that Grammy brought with the last visit, and they've got the pirate costumes to wear. So we'll have to decide what they want to be for Halloween. Ooh, excuse me, because that's coming up. And yeah, so I think that's kind of just the highlights of everything that's been going on. I have my tea. And so now I'll just show you a couple of the things that I have been working on since I last spoke to you all. I finished the last pair of socks I think I told you about. I'm wearing those. So the next pair of socks that I am currently working on is out of Socks That Rock. This is their lightweight in this strange brew colorway. I've had these for a while. I'm going to say I maybe have got these at a sock summit. If not at a sock summit, then I certainly got them at a Oregon Flock and Fiber or Black Sheep. So I have finished one sock, and that is quite an accurate color depiction of the sock. Again, I'm just doing my generic 1x1 ribbing for about an inch or so, maybe a 5 or 6 inch cuff, a slip stitch heel, and then just a regular stockinette stitch foot. So that's one completed sock. And there's the amount of ball I have left. And I have cast on the second sock and got the, come on, where's the light? There we go. I've done the 1x ribbing and maybe about an inch of stockinette stitch cuff. And so that's just been my on-the-go knitting, which has been nice. I took knitting with us on the cruise ship, but I never actually did. Because I brought this thinking I would finish it, and then I also brought some Volan Line yarns in the Holly Jolly colorway. I haven't broken into that. The big project that I've been working on, the last thing I must have finished was, it must have been a sock, and so I decided that I had this yarn that I actually purchased the last time that I went on a cruise. Excuse me. It's a Tree Hugger's Wife yarns. It's hand dyed in Juneau, Alaska. It is the Royal Lace yarn, which is 100% silk, and it's the Catherine of Aragon color, and so it's this nice, gorgeous gold. In real life, it's a little more yellow than it's showing on the screen. I had 2 skeins of this, and so what I ended up doing, let's see if I downloaded the yarn to my iPad. I did a lot of searching online for something that would be nice to feature in that yarn. And I searched and searched and searched and searched and searched, but ended up finding, where is it? I must not have downloaded it here. It is the Adamus shawl. Adamus, designed by Miriam Felton, and I have been knitting it, I've been knitting it as it's been called for, except I've been trying to use all of the yarn that I have. So I had 2 skeins of this, so it's just going to be a gigantic shawl. So you can see here the design. It's got, they're not really baskets per se, maybe I'll call this a flower motif. It's so pretty, and it's just, the rows now are so long. during our evening time where we sit and watch some TV, I only get about 2 or 3 rows done now, so it's kind of slow going. So it's got one whole skein, which is 565 yards. Yeah. So that should be a nice, lovely finished object. I was sort of hoping maybe to get it finished in time for the cruise, to have something for the formal night to wear over my dress, but obviously I didn't get it finished. It is very pretty, and I'm quite excited to finish it. I'm knitting this using, I believe these are US 5s, Addy laces. Addy 3.75 millimeters. Yeah, US 5s. So those are kind of the big knitting projects that I've been working on. There's a sweater that I think I was working on the last time I talked to you all, but I haven't really picked that up. That was still in the sleeve. And I think that's all of the knitting stuff that I have to show you. I haven't been doing a whole heck of a lot. I've been wanting to get back to the wheel and spin because I have a lot of fleece, so I think I'm going to try and finish these projects and then maybe work on spinning some yarn. But otherwise, my extracurricular activities have been keeping me quite busy. So that's really all that I have to talk about. I have since deleted, the last time I spoke, I've since deleted the Libsyn account that I had. That is, I guess all the content that was on iTunes is probably gone. But all of the episodes, at least all of the video episodes, should be on YouTube. And I've been seeing people subscribing to the channel, which I am very thankful for. I will also post this in the group on Ravelry, which has been fairly quiet. Yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe I'll look into maybe doing a knit along or something in the late, maybe after Christmas. That might be nice since we've got all the holiday crafting going on right now. I've sort of gotten my feet underneath me in regards to time and what kind of things I have time for. So I think doing a couple more podcasts a month would be quite feasible. So I don't know if I can do weekly, but maybe every other week might be something I can achieve. So we'll see. What do you think, Lola? Think that's a good idea? She thinks it's a good idea. So there's going to be all sorts of photographs after the podcast. I hope you enjoy those. And please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. You can reach me at the YouTube channel or via Ravelry. So I'll see you all next time, and have a great day. Bye!